Hey everybody, Yoda here on the other side of the homestead. We're back in the kitchen. So you saw in our last video we were doing a community project, butchering chickens and getting all them done. And we mentioned to you that we were going to be canning those chickens. Some of it went in the freezer, the chicken wings, right, Patty? Yes. And then the rest of it we're canning to save on freezer space. So Hacks for the Homestead are back over here, and some of the crew is working on my truck. Yay! And then the rest of the crew, we're in the kitchen. So we're going to show you a couple things that we do. We're chopping the chicken, throwing that in cans. We're doing quart sizes. You can do pints or quarts. Your pints, you're going to pressure can for 75 minutes. Your quarts, you're going to pressure can for 90 minutes. Those of you that have not pressure canned before, remember you're going to bring it to a steam, then you're going to put your weight on there, and then you're going to bring it up, depending on your elevation, to 10 or 15 pounds PSI. Maybe some might be 5. I don't know. I don't live that low. So we're at 10 pounds of pressure here. So we have 3 outside going. We've got 1 going on in here. I think we have 1 or 2 more we're going to try to put together and get those going if we can find some space for that. So we'll just show you around. We're going to show you what Chris is doing. We're going to show you what Patty's doing, and just finger tight on the jar and then throwing them in the pressure canner. And after they're done, once we get the first batch out, we'll show you what they look like. Okay, so here Chris is going to chop these up, and she's putting hers in chunks. So these chunks will go in. You don't want them any bigger than 1 inch by 1 inch. And then you're going to fill them into the jar, and that jar, she's going to pack that down real tight. Now we're not adding any water to this. You can add a little bit of water. Sometimes if you don't get enough broth in there, the chicken's going to make its own broth, by the way. So sometimes if you don't get enough, the chicken on top will it won't have water in it. Now I call that dry. That doesn't mean the chicken is dry. It just means it's not sitting in water. So we started the intent yesterday to put water in, and got to talking and eating, and that didn't happen. So anyway, here's where we're at. So she's just going to pack this, and she's getting that in. We did the thighs. Here, Patty actually has some that's already done. Let's go check out what she's got going on.
Now, most of these I was doing the same thing. I did strips, so I can do, chicken strips. I have done 2 whole chickens in 1 jar because these meat birds were pretty big size. I don't know how good the chicken breast. I put the whole breast in here, and all I got was 2 in a 1-quart jar. And then when I was cutting the chicken breast up, I wind up having some extra tenderloins, so I started making jars of just tenderloins. Now, one thing that we did earlier is we were able to use the wide mouth jars and get 4 drumsticks per jar, 2 up, 2 down. So. And those are already out in the pressure canner.
Yes, those are already out, and we were able to get about 4 thighs in each can as well. So that's what we've got going on here. And again, it's about community and bringing that together. So it's Grumpy Acres' turn to do chicken in about 3 weeks or so. So we'll be doing this all over again. But we're thinking maybe we might do it a little bit different, and just show you what it's going to be like without men involved.
Yes, we're going to do it all ourselves.
We're gonna see what we can do. So we'll check that out. We'll see what the weather temperature is.
First, it's not freezing,
right? So we'll see how that works out. But until then, this is Grumpy Acres and Hacks for the Homestead. Oh, look at my hack. I got a hack today. So I didn't have a ring catcher, and the guys were helping, and they said, where do you put your rings? And I said, I usually put them back in the box, and that apparently wasn't good enough. So out to the outbuilding, Darren went, and I now have a ring catcher, and I'm not going to lie, it was pretty handy. So anyway. All right, so I wanted to come out and check. We just got these started. The wind's blowing a little bit, so I'm sure that's going to give me a little bit of a challenge, and I'll just move the event burner over. This is an 8-burner commercial grill stove, and so I got this together, and this will help me hold 3 pressure canners. So you saw we had 1 going in on the stove. We can put another one in there, and then we've got 3 going on here. We did bring another burner, Hacks for the Homestead did, just in case we needed it. So we're doing pretty good, I think. So we've got these going, and we're going to wait for these to come up to steam and then get the weights on those. This is a new type of pressure canner I've not used before, and it's very interesting because Chris has not pressure canned before, so this is kind of new for her, and I'm teaching her, and then she brought this, so I'm learning on this. So so far not too bad. We'll see how that actually pressure cans, and we'll compare that to the All-American and kind of see where those go. Gives us an idea of what we like, what we don't like. So anyway, that's where we're at right here. All right, so now our pressure cannons are starting to come up, getting ready to go in. So now we're gonna set our timer. We have quart jars in there of chicken, so we're gonna go 90 minutes on those quart jars. If they were pint jars, we'd go 75 minutes, but we're doing 90 minutes for quart jars. So the pressure, the weight, I put the weight on. For our altitude, I have it at 10 pounds of pressure. So now it's starting to rock. It's rocking steady. I know exactly where it's supposed to be. And that tells me, see it'll go, stop. And so you'll count how many times. If it's just constantly jiggling and it never stops, you have a problem. You need to check your pressure gauge. So here's your pressure gauge right there. So make sure that you're, at 10 and adjusting as you need to. So mine's doing exactly what I want it to. I'm hearing that sifting right there. So I know exactly what's going on. I'm going to set the timer. This will be ready about 3:20, 3:30. So then we'll take it, put the fire down, and then go ahead and start getting that pressure down in order to open it and then start another batch. So we got 48 birds we got to can up. Hey everybody. All right, so we're getting towards the end. We still have another batch to do, but we just want to show you what our end product is. So here's the chicken in the jars. You see we did not fill with water. I'm not sure we showed you that before, but we just let the chicken do its own thing. Got a nice broth. We used a couple different canners. One, what is the name of that one? It was that lid right there. This one? No, yep, that one. We used a couple different Graniteware, which is not it's a pressure canner, but works a little bit different than the All-American. And I'm kind of thinking that I like it. So that pressure canner, I got way more juice than these left over than I did in the other. However, we did have a broken jar. So I'm gonna get a hot pad right here, and I'm gonna show you. It was a pretty clean break, but everybody knows what's happening right now is we don't have a lot of quality control in our glass and our lids and all of that, because let's just face it, it says Ball, but the lids are made in China and God only knows where the glass is coming from. So this is not a full loss. We checked the glass, it was all one piece. We'll go ahead and we will put this in a baggie, and Patty and Darren will be eating that for dinner tomorrow. So we got that. We're just going to go ahead and let that rest and cool so that we can take care of that. So nothing's lost, not a big deal. We got the thighs done, I think, for the most part. I think we're just working on chicken breast at this point. So chicken breast is done, and that's how you do it. So again, the 1 quart, 90 minutes. The pint is 75 minutes. And you want to make sure, check your elevation. For us, we were 10 pounds of pressure and did all that. These are the ones that came off of the back porch. So you saw we had that event stove going and all of that. Worked out well. Found some flaws though in that. I think we want to block a little bit more wind. Make sure we do a proper outdoor kitchen to get that going. Everything else, as you can tell, if you're hearing it jiggle, we got some more on the stove. We should be done in about another 2 hours or so. But oh yeah, you can still see the bubbles if you look in here. This will happen, and if you have a couple that the tops don't pop right away, don't worry about that. It can take up to 24 hours to get that to pop, and if they don't pop within 24 hours, they may still be hot. Throw those in the refrigerator, and sometimes that cooling to what's left will make that pop. But yeah, I think that's it, right? So, got a pop. Okay. So that's exciting for a canner. So, anyway. Okay guys, so one of the things we want to drop in on you too is that I know a lot of people are hesitant about doing meat, and you were too.
I was.
Because you hear a lot of stuff and they're like, oh, don't can meat, you're going to kill somebody, that kind of thing. We don't go with that here. G's not dead yet, and I figured it out. He's still alive. I think that's probably one of the things that keeps us alive because we don't have those preservatives. So when you do this, you've got fall canner cookbook and a lot of people that just strictly go by the ball. There are other people that would go out of the realm. And I've said this before, so I'm going to go ahead and say it this way now. Your grandparents did not have the tools that we have today, and they survived. I have learned from the Amish community on several different ways to can. There are several different ways. If you don't have a pressure canner and you can't do 90 minutes and all that and just get it done, then I want you to water bath. Get that up to 225 degrees or above, and you water bath for 90 minutes. And if you have doubts, hold on just a second, because Yoda has been unboxing. If you have doubts, I want you to find this book. This book is Canning the Amish Way. I have mentioned this book several times. This book can literally be a difference between you, your family, and your pantry. This book right here can literally save you a lot of money in the next 3 years. So that's what I'm going to say to that. And we contemplated a little bit as to what was official for Facebook and what was official for YouTube and what we couldn't say. But there's the raw, dirty, and the sideways of getting you the information. So you guys do your own research, have fun with it. We know what we're doing, and we got delicious food, so we're all good. So anyway, all right, guys, this is Grumpy Acres. If you want to, make sure you like, subscribe, share, let everybody else know where we are. Hey, we also want to throw out something, the way that we carved the chicken and all of that, because this was a follow-up. That was actually something that was done by Billy. Permapasture Farm. So check him out, and we want to make sure that credit goes to where credit is due. This is the first time we have processed chicken like this, and I'm telling you, I'm impressed. Yeah, I love it. So I knew the pressure canning. I knew how to do the meat. Hey.
Hi, Billy.
So they had the chickens. We were helping them out, and I think the knowledge between the two of us, we were just able to break it down and get it going. Guys, that's what intentional community is about. So anyway, love to you all. God bless.
Thanks, Milo.